It's Freestyle taking center stage here. 2015 Beat the Streets New York, Salsa in the Square. Jason Knapp, 2000 Olympic champion Rulon Gardner, Carolyn Mano along as well. And Tervel Dlagnev, two-time world bronze medalist, including last year on the mat against Andres Ramos, representing Cuba in this head-to-head duel between Team USA and Team Cuba. First meeting all time for this pair.
And both of the countries of USA and Cuba have both had great wrestlers through the years, and so this is kind of another battle, finding out what your opponent does and then figuring out how you can score on them, what's good. And that's where Tervel's just developing himself into a great heavyweight who's been around for a long time. He still hasn't stepped up and got that chance to win a world title, but he's been coming around. He's slowly improving himself and trying to find a position to where he can ultimately get on the Olympic podium, and then get on that Olympic podium and win a medal, and hopefully a gold medal for him is what he's after.
Consistent high finisher at the international level, as Rulon alluded to. We mentioned the two world bronze medals. He's been 5th at the Worlds 2 other times, was 5th in London in the 2012 Olympic Games, just won his 4th US Open title and his 3rd in a row. And Dlagnev, heavyweight and likes to shoot a lot, trying to get something going here. About minute 15 into this opening period.
And they're looking for a stalemate to bring him back to the feet. Tervel's a heavyweight that doesn't mind going out and trying to get an outside angle for either an outside single or a high crotch, and so he always likes to try to change his level. But being a heavyweight, it's so hard to get underneath these big, strong guys. And changing levels again for a low single position. But just great wrestling, smart wrestling when both wrestlers scramble position, don't really want to make that big attempt, because if you try to go around, you then give your opponent an angle to where he can potentially finish, or you could end up in a scramble situation. And for heavyweights, that's when it gets interesting, because you got 280 pounds just tasseling back and forth. It's an interesting situation.
Ramos second of the Pan American Championships this year, but certainly stepping up in class against Dlagnev. He lost to Zach Ray of the United States in the final of Pan American Championships for his hip, and Ray is the man that Dlagnev just beat a few weeks ago in Las Vegas to clinch his latest US Open National Championship. No scoring so far, 45 left to go, first period.
And Tervel got the opportunity. They put him on the shot clock, and that's where Ramos had to score the points. He didn't get the point, and so ultimately, Tervel gets the lead. But the way that the referees look at it is, if you don't take advantage of that, Tervel potentially could get called, and so he has 30 seconds on the shot clock. So the referees are always just trying to keep it neutral. They're trying to leave it up to the wrestlers on the mat. Neither wrestler's taking a lot of positions. Tervel taking 2 shots, hasn't been able to finish either of them, but ultimately he's hoping he can finish one, and that's all you need to get a victory in wrestling is one takedown.
The official thinking that the Cuban was not in an attack mode enough, put on that shot clock, didn't score in the 30-second time frame, so his opponent gets a point, and that's the only point opening period. Tervel Dlagnev, 29 years old, moved to the U.S. from Bulgaria at the age of 4. Grew up in the Arlington, Texas area, 2-time NCAA Division II national champion at Nebraska Kearney. And then, as you mentioned, Ron, continuing to raise his profile year after year at the international stage at heavyweight. And at age 29, this is the prime time for him now, coming into the Worlds this year in Las Vegas and the Olympics next year in Rio. That's
what they say, in the sport of wrestling. A lot of athletes in other sports mature at a much younger age, but wrestling, it's about 29 years when the physical and the mental finally meet up. And this, could be his year to break through and really get on that podium. Not just a bronze medal, but maybe a silver or a gold. That's his goal. And today, his challenge at hand. And even though he's had 1-0 here, it's so important that he continue. And you can see at the end of that last, first period, you could see Ramos starting to get a little bit off balance, and you start seeing that when you start figuring out your opponent may not have the best conditioning out there. And so, Tervel's, back to it, pressure, looking for an opportunity.
Smart wrestling there too. clearly had the 1-point push out if he wanted it, but kept his man inbounds, got the 2 for the takedown, advancing the lead to 3-zip.
And it's really actually comes down to just being, smart and realizing, okay, I have a 1 point for a push out, or I can finish it for a 2-point takedown. Because at this point, Ramos hasn't really making any attempt for any type of shot. So Tervel's taken now, 3 shots, and all 3 of them, have been, good opportunities. But, the last one, he finally got a position where Ramos was stepping and he wasn't able to scramble. Now Tervel with the, sprawl position, and now with a 2-point takedown.
Continuing to pour it on. 5-0 is the advantage for Dlagnev. And now trying to turn his man. 2 more there on that maneuver. It's 7-0. Could he earn a tech fall here? If he can get the lead to 10 or more, it's over. Stalemate, though, they'll go back to center.
And that's the important part of the scale of an athlete, is to say, okay, am I a technical wrestler? Am I going to beat you, at the end of the match, due to my conditioning? You have to kind of address your opponent, and each time you come out there, and Tervel was being patient. First 2 shots he couldn't, and now he's really started opening up. Maybe Ramos is, conditioning is starting to affect him. Maybe he's a little bit slower, and that's where Tervel is seizing the opportunity. And you can see his confidence is now picking up. He's wrestling a little bit more spirited and having an ability to go out and execute.
And Dlagnev continuing to work his way back to full health. He was essentially on limited duty at the World Cup. The dual battles in the United States, finished in second to Iran. He wrestled in 2 of the 4 United States matches, then was able to go the distance in winning his U.S. Open title. But again, trying to gather himself and lock up a spot on the U.S. World Team again and try to win another world medal. Another 2 for Dlagnev. The turn, and that'll do it. 11-zip and the technical fall for the American heavyweight.
And Tervel with just a really solid, very smart match. Started off slow and then just kind of built himself to the momentum at the end. And that's what you want to do. Give yourself an opportunity to build up to basically a victory. And